The World Cup round of 32 is over, and now we shift our minds to the round of 16 for the FIFA World Cup. And after what we have seen in the round of 32, there is so much to look forward to. So many upsets, so many stories, and so many interesting matchups. There is no easy path through for anyone. Yet, we could see a very similar final to last World Cup. Now, welcome back to Forecast Sports. It's me, William, here, and I'm here for the Forecast Room today episode, and we are previewing 3 more Football World Cup round of 16 matches. Those 3 are Brazil vs Norway, Mexico vs England, and Spain vs Portugal. 3 hugely contested matches in the next few days. So I'll see you after the break. The battle of the playmakers is going to take place when Brazil face up against Norway. And it comes where both sides are exciting in attack, but possibly lack defensive stability at the back. Now, Brazil haven't really completely proved themselves this tournament. They qualified first in their group, drawing to Morocco, and then they beat Japan 2-1 in the round of 32, but they still haven't really proved to me they've got the ability to at least win the tournament for me. Now, Japan and Brazil was a pretty exciting match. Japan went ahead in the 29th minute, while Brazil came back and won, Gabriel Martinelli scoring in the 96th minute of the match. And that's how they really clawed the game back. I can definitely see them pushing further within this tournament, as there are a lot of stars within this Brazilian side. Especially the likes of Vini Jr., who can make a lot happen. And I've really liked Cunha up front, and Bruno G, who has been quite the playmaker so far. Quite a few assists so far this tournament. He's been a real producer for them, and has been one of their big sources for all their attacks. Now, Norway, on the other hand, they beat Ivory Coast 2-1 in quite an exciting encounter as well. Now this game was all about who could beat the other side on attack and destroy the opposition's defense, and Norway definitely did so. And I'm not surprised they did, as they have the likes of Haaland and Nusa to be able to rip defences apart. I really like their front 3, Nusa, Haaland and Soloth, and the ability Odegaard has to fluidly move within the lines and create chances for them. Now, the big questions though for Norway come at the back. But we have seen them concede goals. We saw them concede quite a few against France, but they can definitely score them, and we know that with the goal scoring machine they have up front, Haaland, and it'll be for Gabriel and Marquinhos to shut him down, and they have a massive job to do. I don't think we've seen the best of them so far this tournament, especially the Brazilian full back line, because they haven't really been perfect. We can't really say that they have been the best defence to watch, because they have conceded goals, and that's from a lot of good attacks though. So it could be interesting to see how Brazil do face up against Norway. But then again, Norway's defence is going to be pressured by Vinny Jr. And the likes of Ryan, exciting young player there. And that's where Brazil can definitely win the match, creating and attacking. So it's going to be an end-to-end sort of match. And we know we've watched Brazil so far. They've played pretty fluidly and really stretched the play. So it could be a exciting end-to-end transitional sort of game here. Now, the winner of this game will face either Mexico or England, so it doesn't get easier from here. They are going to have a rough way through wherever it goes. And then if they do win that, then it will likely be Argentina, I'm pretty sure, on the other side of that. So a lot of a difficult route through to the final, which it always is in the World Cup for these two sides. But I think with this match, it's all about grinding it out and getting the win. It's not about making it look good. So the pretty football of Brazil may not matter. It may just be how good the execution is, and that's where Haaland comes into the forefront of our minds. Now, the biggest matchups here, of course, are those as Haaland versus the defence of Brazil, but then it's also those wingers being able to stretch the fullbacks, being able to take the attention off Haaland, and allowing Odegaard to create chances for him. It's a pretty well-oiled machine, this Norway system. And the only real struggle they have had with this machine is against France, where they rested their players. So we could see an interesting battle here against Brazil, who are looking to sort of gain momentum, which they haven't really been able to gain so far this tournament. Now for Brazil, it's really that midfield where they want to win this game. Bruno G, Lucas Paqueta, and the rest and Casemiro, those guys are going to need to be that engine and be able to get back and defend, because this is going to be an all-out attack Norway side. So if they can win the ball back and be able to create opportunities, this could be a pretty simple game for them. But it never really is playing Norway. So my prediction here, coming into this match, I think that Brazil haven't totally captured my attention, but I still think we saw Norway's attitude to the France game. Don't think they're going to bring the great killer attitude that they brought, that they usually bring to matches, just because there will be doubt within the team, because it is such a good Brazil side. So I think Brazil will mentally get ahead of Norway. Norway are definitely going to score goals, and that's knowingly. But I think Brazil will outscore them 4-2 within this match. Okay, see me after the break. Mexico are taking on England at the Azteca, so this could be an incredibly tough battle for the English to try win out, because these two sides are evenly matched here so far this tournament. I think Mexico have been the form side and have the home advantage, but England are England with their manager, with their players, and with their system. So it could be really interesting to see how these two sides match up. Now, we've seen Mexico so far have looked pretty without faults here. They have produced a decent amount of opportunities and have not looked threatened at all at the back. They have been simply too strong defensively for other teams. It's just a question whether they can create the opportunities and finish them. We know Raul Jimenez is going to be key up front, which he always is for the Mexicans. But it's also going to be interesting to see how they can hold out this English side. Now that also for England, it could be quite an interesting match. This is a match where they have to perform because they haven't quite performed to the level that fans have looked for and what we expected from them so far this tournament. And that's simply because they haven't created enough chances and been able to break down those low blocks. Now we know it's not the group stage anymore. Teams aren't fighting for the point, they are fighting for the win. But when it comes to Mexico, if Mexico score first, and England, we know, have struggled to break down low blocks, Mexico may just sit back and defend and show what they have shown so far this tournament as being an incredibly defensively astute side. It could be really, really tactical, this match. Thomas Tuchel is going to be key for England to create that system to work, keep it going, and be able to adapt to what Mexico are going to bring, because it's never going to be straightforward against a Mexico side at home with the crowd supporting them. Now, England really struggled so far this tournament, and it's been having those creators, Cole Palmer, Phil Foden, have been missing, of course, as they weren't selected by Thomas Tuchel, because I guess they are free players. They are players who like to roam, who like to have the free role of the team and be the main man. Now we know that they are not going to be that in an England side, so Thomas Tuchel has left them out, and he has created a system where England are wanting to create a team working around mainly Harry Kane and creating opportunities for him. And we saw the best of that within the last little while in their most recent match against Congo. Now, they struggled in this match. They really struggled. And that's just because Congo are so good defensively. But we saw England strive back into the match. And when they are looking positively towards their wingers and getting good balls in, they are very difficult to stop. But the problem is they are not able to produce those chances through those low blocks just because of that tight defence that teams bring with them. So Harry Kane is not allowed any space, and it means that all those attackers are shut down early. So they have to use their width. That's where the best chances are made. And possibly is where England have lacked a bit of execution. Rashford has been good, but he's also lacked that final ball. I have liked his pace down the left wing, but I think he needs to work on that final ball, getting that right to Harry Kane, because when Harry Kane has an opportunity from across, he more than not finishes it. On the other side, Madueke has been an interesting spark, and Bukayo Saka. Now, there's an interesting selection headache for Thomas Tuchel there. Does he go with Madueke? He's got a bit more pace, likes to take the man on and go down to the goal line and cross it in from that. He's got more options that way, whereas Saka likes to cut in and produce options that way. Now, Saka is better, I feel, when he's not breaking down a team. When he's behind those attacking and a few of the midfield lines, because that means he's got less players to shoot around and less players to get past, and he's got so much more space. When Saka's cut down, he actually isn't as quality as England would like him to be. There are also issues for England with those midfield roles. There are a lot of Anderson and Declan Rice are quite similar players. They like to create opportunities, put balls through, and set up attacks, be that pivot role. When they've got two of them, though, it can be an issue. They don't really either have that defense ability or haven't been able to work with each other to assign roles. Now, I really like Anderson moving forward and putting balls through, but then again, Rice does that really well as well. But we saw him move to right back, and it could be interesting where Thomas Tuchel works this. Do they play one of them as a more defensive player and one as more of an attacking player, or do they both still work in that double pivot where Mexico could find they might be able to hit on the counter really well and get behind this midfield? Now, the matchups within this match come really between defence and attack, and out wide. We've definitely seen the best of Mexico moving wide and crossing in, and we've seen some really exciting players. Alvarado is one of them, being able to run that line, but also be able to have that speed off the counter attack, and that's where England need to be astute at the back, and they've struggled at times to be strong there, but they're gonna need to hold that really well in this next match. They need to show that grit in defence and not all strive forward too often. Now, the winner of this match will play either Brazil or Norway, so it never doesn't get easier for anyone, and we've seen that for this whole tournament. But this is a massive matchup, and they are looking towards this match first. You cannot get through by losing. It's a knockout match, so I cannot wait. And my prediction is that England will get through by the bare of their teeth with a 1-0 win in stoppage time. Alright, thanks for listening, and I'll be back after the break. Two of my favourites coming into this Football World Cup are fighting off against each other in the round of 16. One is going home, and that is between Portugal and Spain, two heavyweights of the footballing world, clashing together in the round of 16 to qualify through to the next round. Now, this is a bit massive storyline here. Portugal, of course, came second in their group, so that meant that they faced off against Croatia in the round of 32 and had a difficult route through. So this Portugal played Croatia in the round of 32 and won 2-1 with a really exciting match. And I wasn't outwardly excited by this Portuguese side so far this tournament, and they haven't stuck out to me so far. Of course, Ronaldo has scored 3 goals so far this tournament, and those goals have been key, but we haven't seen the best of the best from Ronaldo, and I guess that is because of the age of him. But they definitely are possibly lacking something up front and need to make sure that they are creating and finishing off opportunities outside of Ronaldo's goals, because you cannot rely on just Ronaldo to finish off every goal of the tournament, because he's not going to be the man that can steer them like a Lionel Messi or Kylian Mbappe to 7 goals this tournament or above, because he is not the player he used to be. Of course, Portugal are stacked in the midfield and have really good fullbacks. I've really enjoyed watching Nuno Mendes, the best left back in the world, and João Cancelo push high and create opportunities with their runs that they make forward. But we've also seen that be an issue on the counter. And that's where I think Spain can really distress Portugal. They have wingers. Lamine Yamal, what a player. he is going to be so difficult to shut down on that right wing. And the exact player they can use and find the weakness in this Portuguese side is from Nuno Mendes' runs. Now that's when exactly they can hit on the counter-attack and produce those opportunities. We also know Spain are really, really good at creating within their team as well, and they've got a strong midfield and a strong attack as well, plus a solid defence. So they've got a really balanced side, and that's why I think Portugal are going to struggle to score goals within this match and hold Spain out. They're going to have a perfectly tactical expertise to counter Spain's tactics within this match, because Spain know that when they hit Portugal on that counter, they are going to be very difficult to shut down. Or even if Portugal play a low block, they are very difficult to stop when they are creating opportunities. So it is really a battle of the midfields here. Portugal have an incredible midfield. Bruno Fernandes is an incredible creator and finisher as well, so that could be a source for them. While they have Vitinha and João Neves, who are such important players within the side. Now their weaknesses, I think, come at centre back, in defence, and on the wings. Possibly less quality on those wings for Portugal, but we know that midfield can carry the team, and will have to do so to qualify through. Spain, though, their team is fully balanced really well, and we know their midfield, possibly a bit less quality, but with the likes of Pedri, Dani Olmo, and the Fabian Ruiz, and even more, Rodri, they are stacked. I don't even think that. No, I think they are as much quality as Portugal's midfield, if not more. And that's having that quality there, but they're also in the rest of the lineup, is so key to Spain's success. We saw them beat Austria 3-0 in the round of 32, and we know how good they are in big tournaments, such as when they won the Euros. But we know they can go missing in World Cups as well. They either often do really well or really poor. So this could be a real decider, and will be a decider, of how well their tournament goes. We saw this matchup, Spain versus Portugal, in the UEFA Nations League final. Portugal won on penalties. Spain won the Euros final in 2024. So this seems like a very even matchup from the past few years, and we know how good both of these sides are. The biggest matchups, though, within this match, and the biggest deciders of this match, are going to be how well those attackers finish off the opportunities. And we zoom in on Cristiano Ronaldo and his finishing ability. They can put away opportunities. And it can also turn to Mikel Oyarzabal and Lamine Yamal and how well they finish as well. I think overall, though, the form has been full finishing in Spain's side, and we know how good they are overall with being able to finish off chances. So I'm expecting a lot of magic from them, and I think they will get the job done 2-1, but not easily. If this game goes to penalties, though, there could be questions. We know Portugal won on penalties in the UEFA Nations League, So if Portugal can hold Spain out, then I think it could be a completely different ball game. Which penalties are? Okay, I'll be back after the break. Okay, thank you for listening to this preview podcast from the forecast room. And I'll be back for a lot more. This World Cup is flying at us at the moment, and there are so many big stories to look out for. Round of 16 is on its way, and possibly on at the moment while you're watching this. So keep looking at that, and enjoy yourself, because this is a one in every 4-year opportunity. Thanks for listening though, and be back for more. Like and subscribe.